Hey YouTube, happy Friday. Welcome to today's Speech Fact Friday. My name is Emily, I'm a speech therapist, and today our fact is I'm just going to go through the difference with you between an articulation disorder and a phonological disorder. So if you have a child who has some distortions or impairments on specific sounds and you take them in for a speech evaluation, you may be told that your child has an articulation disorder or a phonological disorder, and you may be wondering what's the difference between the two. So I'm going to break down with you the difference between the two, and hopefully this will be of some help to you. So an articulation disorder is going to be an impairment at the motoric level. So this is going to be difficulty in the child to produce that specific sound motorically. If a child cannot produce a specific sound, then this is what we're going to consider an articulation disorder. If a child comes to me and they're saying at for cat, then I'm going to look to see if they can actually make that k sound on its own. If they can, then I know this is not an articulation disorder but a phonological. If they cannot make that sound, then I know this is an articulation disorder because they're having difficulty with that specific sound at the sound level motorically. A lot of times articulation disorders will show themselves in omission, so like I showed you with cat, leaving the C out altogether, or they might show it in distortion, so they might be trying to attempt to say cat, but it might be making a different sound because it's a little distorted. All of these are good indicators of an articulation disorder. A phonological disorder gets a little trickier, so this might not necessarily mean difficulty at the motoric level. They may be able to produce the k sound on its own, and they may actually be able to produce it in a million different words as well, but for whatever reason, cat might become tat. This I know is a phonological because they're taking that T that's at the back of the word and they're bringing it up to the front for tat. So they're assimilating that sound that's in that word. There are many different ways that a child can demonstrate a phonological process. We have fronting, we have backing, stopping, gliding. All of these fall under that category, but the main important thing here is to know that they can make the sound, but for some reason it's showing up differently in the word. That tells us there's a pattern going on, a phonological process that we need to treat. So both of these are very treatable by speech therapists. No need to worry if your child has either of these disorders or impairments, but it is helpful to know the difference. Keep in mind that sounds are acquired at different ages and different by each child as well, so just because your child doesn't have a sound yet doesn't necessarily mean they have an articulation or phonological disorder. It could just be that that sound is still developing. Have a great weekend, you guys. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any tips or facts, and I will catch you guys next week.